This is Low Moon Outsiders, and the story continues.
That's my dancing ones.
Okay, so...
Do you have any magic items? Dancing lights feel very cantrip-like.
It's pretty cool.
It is, but...
Most cantrips that do that cool of a thing don't last nearly that long.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright, anyway, so on the way down, you transform into a dragon. So just roll 3d6 versus dex to see if you can catch yourself before you impact the rock below. And your dex is no problem. Okay, so basically everyone sees her. You try to grab her. You try to grab her on the way by, and you're just like, your hand hits the ledge, and she goes, and then you hear below, sounds like sailcloth almost slapping sound. And then she comes back up in dragon form onto the ledge. And then are you going to turn back to yourself? Because you won't fit on the ledge very well at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so she turns from a dragon back into...
How big is she? It's like an 8 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah, she can't go in the cave, but this is the ledge outside the cave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is only about 4 by 12. And Chairon's laying on it as well. And Lucas has just got onto it. So, but anyway, so she... let's see if this works or not. It's going to work. It's taking forever.
As a dragon, she's 30 feet long.
Yes.
What's her wingspan?
I know that, actually. I know that my tail is 9 feet long.
I think the wingspan is similar.
That's supposed to be like between 2/3 and 3/4 of your total length. For
25.
So about 20 to 25 feet. Something like that.
The human...
Okay, anyway, so she turns into a dragon, comes back onto the ledge. In trying to catch yourself, there's a good chance that you would have dropped whatever was in your hands, which I presume was your daggers.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll a dex check for the daggers.
7!
Yay, okay, so one remained in your hand, which then went inside you and then came out. The other was on the ledge but didn't fall, is the point. Okay, so she is back up. And no one else fell, right? Okay, so now you're all on the ledge. Presumably before you can actually get up, somebody's going to have to go in the cave before it's going to get kind of uncomfortable on the 12-foot long ledge.
Someone tells me I wouldn't have been able to catch myself if I had fallen, so...
Theoretically, she would have had to catch you, or otherwise, Splatto Paladino. They call that a paladent.
The only thing keeping you together is the armor.
Paladin.
Paladidn't. Paladidn't stay up.
Yeah. Paladin. Everyone. A paladin is a paladin with a small piece in his armor. I did.
Okay. Chairon leads the way into the oval-shaped cave. It goes about 120 feet total. It winds and descends fairly steeply, not enough to force you to make dex checks or fall or anything like that, because there are like ridges in the floor and that kind of thing. It's not smooth per se. And no great surprise, it leads you out onto the floor of the box canyon. So before you, what you see is lava rock islands, basically like volcanic rock, solid volcanic rock islands with little streams, and the streams are anywhere from 3 to 8 feet across, in between all of the volcanic islands. And then coming from your left are these clouds of steam, and so they obscure the back 2/3 roughly of it. No sign of Porviah or Liam. The only thing that does strike you as kind of odd as far as what you're seeing, because outside the torchlight there is the ambient orange-red light of the lava, so things are kind of like lines are there, and you can see edges where the light is reflecting off and like that. You can see what appears to be a bridge, clearly some kind of construction that rises up from one of the islands, travels horizontally, and then descends into the darkness on another island, which you can't see it actually touch the ground.
Can I
And
send
it's
my
about
orc
like
over here?
it's outside range to send them all the way, but you could send them a lot closer and see if it's enough to see clearly.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll send 2 of the 3.
Okay, send 2 of the 3 and 1 stays here. All right. Also, the ledge here goes out about 20 feet, and it's about 40 feet wide, and it is solid. It's volcanic rock, and it's warm here. Like, it feels like probably 80 degrees. It's not anything uncomfortable. And you can hear and even sort of feel all the while the lava flows moving around. And it is quite clear that they are hitting the water over where those steam clouds are being generated. Still, to right now, you can see the steam coming. It's some distance, so the sound of it is pretty quiet. Okay. So you send the 2 orbs, which basically they look like torch lamps almost, but they're very white. And they drift out onto the... That was loud. Okay, so I guess they're louder than I thought. Okay. Anyway, they drift out across the platform you're on, and then across a lava flow stream, and across another platform, and a lava flow stream, and another platform, and they do get to the point where their light is shining on the bridge, and it definitely looks like a man-constructed bridge, or someone constructed it, someone with decent craftsmanship. It goes up and over perfectly horizontally, and then down onto the island behind. Now, there's no, looking directly at it, there's no obvious way to get to the bridge. Looking, while she's doing that, and people kind of look around, there is a pathway where this island connects to another island that would get you a little closer. So, and presumably a Sturd could track here and figure out whether Porviah and
That's what I was just about to ask.
Liam
This
came
seems
this way.
relatively art-like, doesn't it? Has
Say-
anyone been to a volcano before?
You probably have. You've probably been to a volcano before. You've seen other volcanoes, yeah. Yeah.
I have. I've been volcanoes before.
There's one in your mountain chain back home. There's one in just about every mountain chain, actually.
Does this look like part of a volcano?
No, this is the surface.
No.
You would need a way down in or something.
I guess so.
What did they pass through here? Did they pass through here?
Just gonna move out in front of the group and track to find out. Sure enough, roll percentile dice.
It's gonna be that easy, right? 16.
Yes, they came through here. They left this platform via the one exit that you can see. So they didn't jump, is the point. There are places where you probably could jump, but they didn't jump.
We are following their tracks.
Yes. Do we know about how many bugbears we're following?
None
The
now.
bugbears did not make it this far.
Well, no, actually.
They turned back at the steam beds.
They turn back at the precipice overlooking here, but they, in theory, a Sturd would say they either turn back because it was into the volcano, or Porviah and Liam would have had to get out away from the ridge some in order for them to see where they had gone, because right here they wouldn't be visible from the ridge. Okay? What are we doing?
We're following the tracks.
Okay. So you're going to put a Sturd back in the front then, because now he's going to have to check pretty much every volcanic island. He's going to have to check and see if they left, or if they took a bridge, or if there is a bridge. And if not, if there's no bridge, then where did they leave at? Okay, so Sturd is in the front and tracking. Chairon. Let's see. Look at what happened. Still be second, that's fine.
Okay, cover in the back.
And we'll stay in the middle with the lights and keep one up by a street. The other two down.
Okay.
It's possible we could find rogue elementals here. Fire elementals would be attracted to such a place.
Interesting.
Fire elementals are scary. Very, very
I
scary.
don't think I've ever encountered it. I think I've encountered almost every other type of base elemental. I know I've encountered earth, water, and air, I think. I don't remember when we encountered air elementals.
I do not like earth elementals, as a general rule.
We have Tommy's character in Uprising is currently stuck as a deep gnome, and they summon earth elementals as a ability, inherent ability. So we have one that's like following us. But it can't go upstairs because it can't lift its legs. So he has to de-summon it. Go upstairs.
Okay, so you move out onto the next platform. So now you're 50-ish feet from the tunnel that you came out of. And he tracks and says, okay, they went this way. There's a spot where it's pretty narrow, it's about 2 feet. And they stepped across onto the next platform. And so you're going to have to step over the lava. But again, even when you get close to the stream of lava, it's hot, like probably 100 degrees ambient temperature, but only right where the lava is. And then when you move away from it, it drops back down to like 80 to 90. So, and when you look down there, you see that like the lava is not right at the surface, it's down several feet. So it's so this rock up here is solid volcanic rock, and what's down in several feet is actual molten lava. Okay, so he is informing you that. Are you going to take the 2 step up 2 foot? I mean, you can easily step 2 feet. Most people's step is more than 2 feet, so you're not going to jump or anything. And a stirred goes to move across. At which point in time, I need everybody to roll for surprise.
I warned you.
What's surprise? 1 or 2?
Yep.
I am surprised.
I am not surprised.
I am not surprised.
As you warned us, yes, you would not be surprised.
I'm expecting.
I wouldn't be surprised to find. If I'm correct, it's by pure chance. I was just commenting. This is a
Well, you are wise.
environmental.
So this is the right
necessary.
environment, yes, for it. But that doesn't mean that.
You could even find, because we're underground, a magma para-elemental. But if they go outside, they become lava elementals.
Right. We're probably like to run into, what was one of those things you run into with the rings?
If you don't want to miss any of the story, Low Moon Origins, Uprising, or Outsiders, like and follow our podcast. Please share it with friends.
It's called in lava.
Mephits?
If you're standing up and you look at lava, you burn your eyes because you're able to take in too much of it at like visually at eyes, but if you're crouching, it shouldn't burn your eyes.
Well, I was going to say also just the fact I don't know what wavelength it gives off light-wise, but it can be dangerous in that regards.
Yeah. Orange.
That's the visible spectrum.
So what happens is, where you are, it essentially begins to rain. It's raining directly on the group, and the rain is hot, boiling hot. And so everyone needs to make a saving throw versus spell. Dex bonus applies. If you are surprised, you do not get your dex bonus.
Does the armor help at all?
Not for purposes of whether or not you take damage, if that's what you're asking.
I don't know my saving. I made mine. I rolled a 17. It should be the same as mine. +2.
+2.
Basic. Made mine.
I failed mine.
Didn't make mine by much.
I won.
I mean, I rolled a 17, but I saved a 14.
You would roll higher or low?
Higher.
What's your roll? 8.
Okay,
Those failed?
Yeah,
Clume takes 7 points of damage.
Killed by 1.
I know.
Chairon takes 6 points of damage. Lucas takes 5 points of damage.
It's on a mate save.
Correct. Stir takes 11 points of damage.
Yay.
Parrot takes 3 points of damage.
Can I heal burns?
Yes. Your
That
healing
was-
is mystical in nature. So, okay.
That was from like pop.
It
Like
was
air being sprayed.
boiling rain.
Oh.
The rain fell on you, and it was boiling hot rain. Okay.
That's crazy. That hit that kid, he's cooked. Literally.
Whittling?
Okay. At which point in time, so the nearest cloud of steam, if you will, is probably about 50 feet from your location, and the edge of the cloud breaks off, and it forms a jagged-looking face with wicked-looking ears, and it kind of materializes on the platform with you, so it moves very quickly, like it takes like 2 seconds for it to move from the cloud to where you are. Let's see, and who was surprised? Just Clume, not surprised? Not surprised, not surprised, not surprised, okay. All right. All right, and so it appears in front of Herrick. And we're in a missile fire for those who are not surprised. What was your surprise roll? And do you have a dex bonus?
I don't think so.
What was your dice?
On the D6 is today.
16?
That's
You
plus
have it.
1,
Oh,
so that
then
would
I'm
be
not
3.
surprised.
Now, you're still surprised. It's still on the roll of 1 or 2, you're surprised, but then you add your dex bonus to figure out how surprised you are.
Okay.
Okay, so you're surprised for only one segment. So there is only one segment of surprise. She's the only one surprised, and all right, okay. And we are in missile fire. Do not roll initiative. Do so, except for Caitlin. Okay. Missile fire 9. Missile fire 8. Missile fire 7. Okay, so you're in 7. There is a creature that appears to be made of steam standing between, or I'm sorry, in front of Herrick. And so basically, let me give you what this actually looks like on the layout here.
Correct. I didn't know when I used to do that.
And this is our platform. The place to jump across is here. Herrick was in the back, but everybody had clumped up a little bit because you're all getting ready to jump across.
So you can hire one. So I go, sword.
Like that.
Nice.
And the creature is here.
Very small creature.
Yeah, he's about 4 foot tall. Double check that. Yes, he's 4 foot tall. Okay. Let's fire 7.
Just, yeah, it looks like a creature made of steam.
Correct. You can see he's semi-transparent. You can kind of see through him. He has jagged features, so his ears are pointed, his face is pointed. He has wicked-looking claws,
I can only assume.
no weapons.
I can only assume it's just gonna right through him. I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. So
I don't know what the
to shoot at the creature, you will be firing through the party because it's only like 15, 20 feet away. Unless you want to like shoot straight up and have it come down. But So if you don't call shot, there is a chance if you miss, you could hit a friend.
Cold shot.
Okay, so starting called shot. So it'll go off in your melee 7. So it'll go off in 7 of melee. All right. Okay. Also in 7, it rains again.
Good.
No need for a saving throw. Boom takes 8 points of damage. Chairon takes 5 points of damage. Lucas takes 8 points of damage. Sturd takes 6 points of damage. And Herrick takes 10.
Ugh. Dead before.
Boiling water. Okay. And that was in 7. Also in 7, the creature that is right in front of Herrick now. Okay, so what happens is he basically lifts his hands up, and as he does so, there is a greenish vapor that comes out of him, and he just folds away from it, and then he reforms a step behind himself backly, so he's not actually right at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to make a saving throw versus poison.
One segment. No.
That is a definite no. Okay, so you're taking 2 points of damage, and you're choking, basically it's choking damage, and you are blind. Can't see.
So what did he do to him?
He basically expelled a ball of greenish gas that surrounded Herrick, and Herrick began to choke, and he's clutching at his face and his eyes. And the creature basically stepped back away from Herrick as he did that. So he's not in melee with him. Okay, that was Misfire 7.
Why didn't you just
Because the gas has 0 range?
We said you did it as a
And then all right, we'll go to Missile Fire 6. Missile Fire. Okay.
Blast of wind / create air in that general direction.
Okay.
Maybe it'll drive the poison off too.
Okay, so you try to summon up the spell, and it doesn't go off.
This entire thing is only 6 seconds. So if you called shot.
So you do realize that even though they're
Sight.
instantaneous, if you take damage, it is hard to get them to respond.
Gotcha.
You don't lose the spell, because it didn't happen while you were casting the spell, but it is hard to get them to respond. You do still have another action, however, coming. So that was Missile Fire 6, unless you want to throw something or whatever. But Missile Fire 5, Missile Fire
I
4,
don't think we have any other missiles.
3.
Unless it's Sturd is deciding to shoot him.
Oh, nope, he's melee. He's called Shot the creature.
Aren't we in a surprise room?
That's right, we are in a surprise segment.
I just explained that to him.
Yeah, we're just going to give a bonus on initiative. So when we go to the actual round, you'll be in 8. You'll keep your initiative and you'll be in 8.
Okay.
So, all right. We're in melee. Surprise segment 1, melee 9, 8, 7, 6.
And we'll stumble back out of the gas.
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to clear it, basically. It's fine. All right. Melee 5, this is the surprise segment. Melee 4, melee 3. Chairon and Lucas got to be in here somewhere. Melee 2.
Me and 2. I was in 3, I'm sorry. I attacked it.
Lucas turns and moves to attack the creature. subtract 1 from your initiative. You're actually going first. You could go this way. Get there first.
I'll do that.
You may roll to hit, sir. You get to attack it before Lucas does because you had the higher initiative.
Yes. It's AC 5.
Sorry. That is a hit.
Hey, what is base damage?
D6 plus 1? Maybe?
Oh, that's not very good.
D6.
What is it?
Footman's mace?
Mace?
Oh, Footman's mace would be +1, yeah.
Footman's, I think, is D4.
I'm almost there.
+1.
I thought it was bigger.
Oh, no, you're right. Be 2 to 7.
Mace. I'm almost there. Mace, Footman's.
Pretty sure
D6 plus 1.
6
Horseman's
points.
is D6 and Footman's is D6 plus 1.
6 points of damage.
Okay.
You think he's strength yet?
Nope. Wait, maybe. I think so.
What's your strength?
Yes. 1866 actually.
Yeah.
Okay, get a couple of 16
Isn't that mace magical, maybe? Or it's definitely magical.
Yeah, it's +1. I think.
Okay, and what was the damage? I'm sorry.
6 total, you said.
6 points. Actually, 7 points of the magic. I'm sorry, 7 points.
7 points?
Yep.
Okay. So it obviously affects him. It like crushes the side of it. But it's not like terribly disrupted or near destroyed. It's clear that it damaged him.
I imagine I'm going to do less of
And his look on his face was like, ah! Okay. So then Lucas arrives.
Actually, I don't have the magic maces bonus written down, so I don't know for sure it's +1.
It's the one that I gave him. I got it from the traveler, so.
It says that I have 1 combat with it, so.
You got it from where?
The traveler's sale, it was like, we bought it out of the back of a wagon. It was fairly expensive.
Oh, okay, I remember. All right, yeah.
So this is my 2nd combat with it. So I don't actually know.
Moving right along. One to go. You'll get it today if we keep this show going.
I assume that a 19 is going to hit.
Yes, sir.
14 points.
Okay. The creature like is badly slashed with vicious blow from your sword after already been partly smashed from him, and it dissipates kind of into just like low-lying mist. It's been totally, it has no form to it that's recognizable now.
I'm going to usher the rest of the party to move quickly along.
Okay.
In case the rain is localized here.
Yeah,
And it's
well,
not coming from him.
before you've done that, actually in the same initiative as you're attacking him, a second creature appears on the platform next to Clume.
Yeah, well, cool, right?
This one's gone, actually. Okay. All right, so that ends the surprise segment.
Leave us with
You killed your target that you were called shotting on, so you're basically starting over, which means you can shoot in missile fire, because the one that is next to Clume, you have a fairly clear shot on, if you choose to do that. All right, and so we're all rolling for initiative.
How big of an area are we in?
So the whole island is about like 30 by a little less than 40, but the party is all kind of moderately clumped together in less than a 20 by 20 area because you were all getting ready to step across onto the next platform, and he was tracking and stuff.
Okay.
So it is possible to spread out some, and that might help. If someone took the time to actually pay attention to how big the area of effect of the rain was, which no one really did, you might get some intelligence on that. Because you can look and see, oh, it didn't fall except on this island. which is what Lucas just surmised, that it might only be on this island, but you could look and see if the islands around you got wet, or even if the whole island got wet, but no one did. All right, and so we're in missile fire, a regular round. Okay. Missile fire 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay. In missile fire 6, it rains again. Clume.
Can Clume destroy the water before it hits her?
Maybe. You could try, but it would be your. It is an instant. It would be your only missile fire action. You could still do something immediately.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. So basically, you're just going, trying to destroy the water over your head. All right. So roll a d20, saving throw, add dex points.
19.
Nice. Okay. So you will take 2 points of damage.
I'm doing that.
All right. Chairon, take 5. Lucas, take 6. Asterd, take 7. 5, 6, 7. 12. You shouldn't have done that. You ruined it. Oh man, that was terrible. I said it'd probably be 8. He goes 12. Actually, I rolled a 12. That's terrible. Okay. That was in 6. Missile fire 5. Okay. In 5, the creature in front of Clume belches a green gas at her, which envelops her. Saving throw versus spell.
That was poison.
Poison. Sorry. Saving throw versus poison.
17.
Thank you. So you lose your save.
I'm sorry, I start making something.
Okay. So basically, you hold your breath and turn your head and shield yourself pretty well, and you take no damage, and you are not blind. Okay. That was missile fire 5. Missile fire 4. Okay. Missile fire 4. A second creature appears in front of Lucas.
Interested in giving financially to Low Moon and support the campaign? Text LMGIVE, that's LMGIVE, to 419-419-0095.
And he's going to go ahead and belch his gas at you now. Make him saving throw versus spell.
It's not very fair.
Yeah, they're not fair. They ambushed you.
18.
Okay, so you are surrounded by green gas, but not choking or blinded. Missile fire 3.
Me.
Okay.
Goodness.
So you have a clear target on the one in front of Clume.
Nice shoot.
You may take 2 shots, sir.
You get 2 shots?
2 shots. What level? You're 6, right? Yeah, next level you'll get 3 shots around. 7th level you start getting 3 shots around.
20 and 62.
That'll be scary.
18, sorry.
Both hit?
Bam. 1 and 3.
Okay, plus his point blank range, so that's 3 and 5, and 2 for the bow makes 5 and 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, plus 2 times 2, right?
Oh yes, his point blank was times 2. I forgot the times 2.
So 3 and 5 becomes 6 and 10,
Then
and 8 and
12, 14. Yes. Okay, so he dissipates as the one did before, and just like gases just kind of float away. Okay.
In 3, does my X do anything to get rid of me being poisoned or cause me to not be blind? Although I have been I took a lot of damage this round, so I'm probably not going to help.
This round? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
12
there's
points.
the boiling. Yep, you got the boiling water. So, but you could still search it out. Its intent. It does not volunteer to do either one of those 2 things. Okay. Missile fire 2. Missile fire 1. Ends the round. Melee 9. 8. 7. 6.
I'm at 6. We're super close to the lava, are we?
I mean, it surrounds the island. So
And
where
we're-
you're standing, the nearest lava is 10 feet away.
Alright. I will toss my mace kind of towards the middle of the island a little bit and start drawing the longsword.
Okay. Alright. Switching weapons.
I can get hit off with the longsword here, and I can get all 3 of my weapons so strange.
Side note. Okay. Melee 5.
Alright.
Okay. So Lucas has one in front of him. You do not currently have a target. Because he killed the one on you.
Oh, cool.
So you're in the
Lucas will
clear.
sidestep out of the gas and flurry of blows this guy in front of him.
Okay. You may do so, sir.
First hit is a, oh wait, I have to roll how many attacks I get. 3 attacks. First one is a 20. Second one's an 18. And the third one is an 11.
Okay. You destroyed him, chopped him into mist.
Out of curiosity.
Soon, we gotta move.
38
fast.
points.
So as soon as this guy's done, we gotta go.
Okay. So, as far as you can tell, you're in the clear.
I'm jumping wherever I gotta jump.
Okay. You turn, you step over onto the next island. It's 2 feet. It's not much of a jump.
So I'll clear out.
Clue race is active.
All right. So you begin to pick your way across. You're not taking time to do healing. Quite a few people are pretty injured.
I feel like, how long will it take to heal?
I mean, a minute per person.
I feel like we should stop. Like, we don't, there's no more of these guys? They think
For
we're like,
now.
Doesn't look like it.
Is it
We
still
should at least
rain?
go to the next
No,
island and
Just
then
rain
They
briefly.
did come
Alright,
out of
I'll pick
nowhere.
up my mace.
Like the bucket at Kalahari.
Oh!
Except it was boiling.
And in her case, it went, the second time it went, and everybody else got drenched, and she went, they destroyed the rain above her head, mostly.
That's pretty cool. I will pick up my mace and jump across the next island.
Okay, so we are moving.
And then we're going to probably do healing at the next island.
Guys?
Not attack.
I'm a little blind here.
Oh,
Forgot about that.
Someone's grabbing his arm, I presume.
do I think I can do anything about that
Kumo
with
guide
like,
him.
You're pretty sure like
Right,
rinsing
yeah.
out his eyes will probably help a lot.
So that was a lot.
Not boiling water, rinsing it out though probably, because that could hurt.
oh, rinse out his eyes.
Okay, Clune will lead him to the next island and then create water to wash out his eyes.
Okay. First you're expecting boiling pain, but no.
It's a cool
And you can see.
what is the equivalent of a water balloon that is big?
Your eyes feel a little dried out actually, because of the force of the water, but other than that, fine. You can see fine.
Alright, we're moving.
Okay, we're on to the next island. You've rinsed out his eyes. You're following the tracks.
Yeah, we're gonna do healing at the next island.
Okay, so you're only going one island and then do the healing?
So where's the next island? Is this like, they're each around 30 foot?
They vary widely, like some are only 5 to 10 feet in diameter, but you're only been on bigger ones so far.
Okay.
Alright, let's start with.
At some point, you may have to be like on multiple islands at once.
Actually,
Personally, I just can't assume that we're just gonna be safe on the next island.
women and children first.
Women and children first. Don't have any children, so.
I'm someone's child.
I'm someone's child.
Alright, we got 8, 12, 17 points.
Ah, almost full.
You better do that good for me.
While you're finishing that.
No. Dude! Holy!
That doesn't count. 12 points.
Whatever.
What do you mean? The only one that rolled outside the tower was a good one. You want me to re-roll that one? Get another one?
Whatever.
12 is still a lot.
Garbage.
I'll give you.
How many hit points are you getting?
80.
Okay,
I'll
shut
give
up.
you one
Say 80.
I'll give you
Get
one.
out of here.
1 point play on hands.
Okay.
Here's the burnout roll. Burns out.
Let's go, 81, baby.
He's complaining about 81 hit points right now.
Well, he'd have given me 7 and a half out of mine, so.
Alright,
I'm at 49 after healing.
the stirred.
Are you at half? You're full. I thought we were all like half full.
Half full.
What? Why are you half full?
16
Because
points.
I only had 52 and it took out a crap ton.
No, I was at 30.
The sturdy at 16 points.
You should get more of those.
More
Good point.
Okay.
Chairon gets 14 points. Up to 14.
I'll take 14 since I'm down over 20.
Let me do myself.
I can't.
5 minutes. 5 minutes worth of healing.
So,
Checking for encounters.
12, 16. Yet again, the worst roll was your turn for Lucas.
You can't heal me. It's because I'm an elf. It's because you're racist. You're half elf.
If I was racist, you would get no healing.
Right, which means he'd hate me more than you actually.
It depends on your ideologies.
All right. Anyway,
Racist would give you the false hope of healing.
I would say I failed probably 3 out of my last 5 healing rolls on you, so.
okay. So we're pushing forward. We're tracking best we can. We're using dancing lights and torchlight.
Longsword in hand.
Okay. So you cross a few more islands. You step over once, and actually there are narrow connections most of the time. But there are a couple of times where you're spread out on what island you can't be on the same island at the same time because like one's only like 5 foot by 6 foot, and so you go on that island, and then you go on to a fairly large island that's sort of bulbous shape, and at the top of it, like it kind of narrows down to a pathway that leads on to another island that's pretty far away. So you're going to walk on a 3 foot wide pathway for about like 6 or 8 feet. So it's kind of a little unnerving. 3 foot's not narrow, but it's lava on both sides, and it's going to be hot, 110 degrees, whatever. But anyway, before you actually cross that and you stop on that island, a stirred is tracking to verify for sure that they went on, and roll percentile dice.
Do you want to know when my lay on hands is refreshed?
When it becomes available again?
Yeah,
Yes.
I know it's at midnight, but.
Yes, you'll know when it becomes available.
And it's not yet.
Correct. Yeah, it's like right now it's like 7 o'clock.
Oh, dang.
71.
Where's the watch?
Okay, so you're tracking the tracks on this one big island that has the little pathway that leads off of it, and the Porviah and Liam came this far, and then here there are other tracks. And you check them, and it looks like they came from not the pathway. The other tracks came from not the pathway, but another island that's like 5 feet away, and they came directly over, and another island on the other side that's like 3 feet away, and they came directly over. And there doesn't appear to be any signs of fighting. There's no blood, there's no scuff marks, no weapon marks, nothing like that. No weird pressure on the steps. But the tracks appear to be giants. And there are 3 of them. Or maybe very large ogres. So if they're giants, they're kind of smallish for giants. Roll a d20 for me if you would.
20.
And what is your intelligence?
13.
Okay. That's I roll also. Anyway, so the footprints, so hill giants and quite frequently mountain giants travel barefoot. Like basically you'd see signs of their flesh foot, right? Not boots or shoes or sandals or whatever. These are rigid-soled either sandals or boots. And so you would guess that means fire giants.
Fire giants.
And fire giants are very scary. And there apparently were 3 of them, but it does strike you as if they are smaller than average fire giants, for sure. Okay? And then no sign of Porviah and Liam's footsteps leaving here, but the giants go back the way they came.
So we're gonna follow the giant's footsteps then.
Okay,
If
so
it doesn't look like they left or went to any other island or anything, I'm gonna follow.
so they went two different directions. One steps over lava that's a little over 3 feet wide, and one steps over lava that's 5 feet wide, which is definitely a jump.
We're gonna go 3 feet.
Okay. So are you informing the party of what you've discovered?
Yes.
All right. So Asterd tells you that it appears that 3 smaller than average fire giants met Porviah and Liam here. There was not a fight, but they took them and went back either that way, which is across lava that's about 5 feet or a little further wide, or that way, which is a little over 3 feet, jump onto that island.
Fire not deter us.
What?
So it will not deter us.
Okay, so you have 3 ways forward. If you're tracking the giants, it's over the 5-foot gap or over the 3-foot gap, and Asterd is suggesting the 3-foot gap, obviously. And the alternative in between those is a narrow pathway that leads on to a next large island. Now, they do all sort of go in the same direction. So it's all like, they just ignored they went that way, or you take the path that goes up the middle.
It doesn't
Did you see any signs of struggle or conflict or
No.
a chase or anything?
No signs of struggle with the tracks in here. The giants seem to have gone 2 different directions.
And you said smaller than normal giants?
Yes.
Which is still very big.
So the giants like split up, it looks like?
It looks like. They may have taken one went the one way and one went the other way.
So there are 3 total giants that you tracked. 2 of the giants went back by the 5-foot way, and 1 of the giants went back by the 3-foot way. They all arrived at about the same time and left at about the same time. It's probable that they were traveling together. And you would half guess that that means they came and went from the same place. They're just not, I mean, if this wasn't a lava flow and you were crossing this valley, you wouldn't walk together either.
Yeah.
You might go, I'll meet you there, and you go around the rock, and he goes around the tree, and he goes up the middle between them, kind of thing. It's like that. You assume they're all probably going about the same place.
We're going to follow them.
Like the places where, and to add to that, the place where they left across the 3 feet and left across the 5, there's only like 15 feet between that. So.
Lucas switches back into his sword.
Just,
Okay.
I guess it's a matter of, she's familiar with this area. She may have some relation with these creatures.
It's possible,
So-
but it really doesn't matter.
It matters to me. If they're not necessarily violent, then don't attack them the moment that you see them.
Well, they are intelligent creatures nonetheless.
And very evil and very structured. So Asterd and Lucas would both know that. I don't think half-elves really necessarily. Maybe know the legends, maybe.
General rule.
Or where they came from, so we could just follow.
We're going to follow the tracks.
Okay, over the 3-foot gap.
Yes.
Okay. So everyone needs to make a dex check. You get +3 on your dex.
Did not.
No problem.
All good. Thanks for that +3.
Yep. So everyone leaps no problem across.
Numbers good?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Equal to or less than your dex +3. Okay.
Checks. A lower.
Oh, wait. Less than the dex +3, so my dex is 16, so I'd make it 19?
Right.
Okay, we'll
So
go.
19 is your yep.
Thank goodness.
So just so you're, have this in perspective, like, obviously you could provoke trouble, but you could travel as a dragon across this valley in like
I've been
a
considering
minute
it.
or 2.
I've been thinking about it.
So now where you would go exactly, you don't know, because you couldn't track while you're doing it necessarily. But like,
If there was ever a place
if you ever have to leap across a hole that's like 8 feet, that's kind of That'd be dumb compared to like just turning into a dragon.
If we get into a big fight with fire giants.
You can easily sinew us across a space that's probably 10 to 12 feet as a step. So you just rear up and set your legs down on the other side, then pull your butt up. You know, so there's no sense in taking that risk. Because if you started to fall in the lava, you wouldn't have time to turn into a dragon and save yourself. It would, that kind of thing. So just so you got that in perspective.
Yeah, I thought about it. I wasn't sure how.
The problem is it may stand out, and you are supposed to be keeping yourself discreet, and there's a lot of reasons not to do it. But so no, we're not underground. No. You can see the sky plain as day. You're in the box canyon. You took the tunnel down onto the platform in the box canyon, and you're outside. Yep. Sorry, I apologize that was not clear. There is no ceiling here. Now it's clear. So, okay. Well, because you had probably gotten the description of the floor of the canyon previously, and when you were getting that description, they probably weren't paying very good attention. So that's probably why. Okay. Anyway. All right, so now you're following the giants, and you're following the one giant, not the three, not the other two, because the two went by the 5 foot way. This was one giant. Okay, all right. 2 segments later, you have to jump across a place with a 4 foot flow.
Okay, cool.
So for him, that's just really a big step. Not even a big step. It's a normal size step. For you, it's more than you can comfortably jump, but it shouldn't be dangerous. So are we jumping across to follow the tracks?
Yep.
Okay. And while you're over top of the lava itself, the temperature does spike to be like 110 degrees. So it does get pretty hot. On the islands, the temperature's running 80 to 90. Over top of the lava, it's pretty hot. So everybody roll a dex check. You get +2 on your dex.
And keeping my land gracefully / luck at the tip of my brain. I made it, no problem.
I turned into a dragon.
Okay. So
it might make it harder for somebody to grab you.
By the time that you are knowing that your foot is slipping, and it's not like you're falling in the lava, it's a 4 foot step. So basically you're stepping across and your back foot is going to drag in the lava. By the time you're doing that, there's really no time to turn into a dragon and prevent it.
I also failed.
You also failed, okay. All right, so we need to go back to determining our order. So a stirred was crossing first, followed by
I made it.
Chairon, I think, was actually second in our marching order. Does that sound right?
No, I was.
And Herrick was in the back, I know.
So I'm sure it started.
Yep, I was still in the back, yep.
So like that.
King was in the middle.
Okay, so Chairon was second. All right. Now, I mean, you're at the edge. He's jumping across. It's clear that he does not have his balance, and he could fall back or at least fall partway into the lava. So you have a chance of grabbing him. Okay, so we're gonna do this by a save versus petrification polymorph death magic. So roll a d20 equal to or higher than your save. Basically, you're going, wait, crud, and you're lashing out to grab him before he can fall back or drag in the lava or whatever.
Save versus Olympus.
PPDM.
Give you extra movement.
Should be the top one, I think. PPDM.
It's the middle one for me.
Paralyzed poison.
To the
He's looking
right.
at his.
To the right.
Oh, I see it now. So -11, so.
So you need 11 or better. 11 or higher.
This one's really high. 20.
Nice. Okay. So he lashes out and grabs you. He was just losing his balance backwards, so you haul him onto the island, and he's safe. Okay. Then, so Chairon and Asterd are across, and then Clume is coming across. Okay. Roll a d20 real quick for me. This is not see what happens. We'll check something.
19.
Okay. So what had happened was he was helping Chairon, and you were watching, and then they were still kind of like getting separate or whatever, and you thought, no big deal, and I'll just jump across, so no one's really ready to help you at that moment in time. However, both of you can roll a save versus paralysis, but you'll have -4 on your dice.
I had to roll 15 or better.
Correct.
Please.
Made it exactly.
15.
Oh, nice.
So they both go, "Hey!" and pull you as you start to fall back. And then do roll a saving throw versus fire for your boot, however. It will be your left boot. Do you have magical boots?
Fire? No.
Okay, so you may have a not so great boot in a moment.
9.
I think that's not good.
All my numbers are.
Yeah, it's not you though, it's your boot.
Basically, that's your.
Okay, that makes me feel
Your shoe helps to your skin.
better.
Can you believe there's not a DMG in either one of these bags? How can this be?
Is that
Or the USB-C charger.
gold melted?
This?
No, that's your audio cable.
Yeah.
Kind of
Why do you need one? I might have
I'm not terribly worried about it because we're close to.
Yeah, we're ending soon anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry
Okay,
about it.
I'm 99% sure, so the boot is damaged. It's not destroyed, but it is damaged. It's going to be slightly uncomfortable walking, unless you have a pair of backup boots, which seems unlikely.
No.
Or mending.
Also no.
Check out Things Were Different Back Then, the origin story of Lord Victor told from a certain point of view.
All right, so she is safely across, and then Lucas made it, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, he is across, and Herrick made it? All right, so you're all on the new island. Okay, so at this point, when you look to the left, the island to your left is the island that has the origin of the bridge. So you can continue following the giant's course, but the island directly left of you has what appears to be a man-made or some kind of intelligent constructed bridge that starts on that island, goes up and across to another island and down, just so you know.
Sure. Can we assume that the giant was going that direction, or it might
It does not look like he was going that direction, no.
Okay.
It looks like he was going straight ahead.
I'm gonna stray a little bit to the side there, and it goes to the island with the bridge just to see how far that gap is.
Okay, yeah, so the gap is 3 feet.
Okay.
So it's a pretty easy cross. And then the gap that the bridge goes across is about 12 feet. So, getting from that island over to the other would be virtually impossible without either magical help or... Some people could running jump it, maybe. It's a pretty good running jump. Especially if you didn't try to land on your feet.
Yeah.
You could do it, probably.
So right there, I don't know what the gap is for the direction we're going.
Yes, so the gap straight ahead of you is 4 feet. So, in theory, not really a problem, but the last 4 foot gap saw almost 2 people step in the lava.
The gap to the
Stare at the other guy.
The gap to the bridge is only about 3 feet. It looks like it crosses a fairly good gap, but we may not need to cross that large of a gap the direction you're going.
So, based on the way the other 2 giants went, they would have had to gone to the other side of the bridge, most likely, or to the one that the bridge is on. They definitely didn't come on any of these ones that you've been on. Like they haven't joined back in with him is the point. So somewhere out there is a trail of 2 giants that's out there somewhere.
But we should probably follow 2 instead of the same place.
If you can find their trail out there.
Let's go on the bridge.
It'd be easier to go across, go on the bridge, check over there for the trail. If it doesn't work out, you can come back. Bearing in mind, you do have to cross a bridge.
Yeah, which could be
a choke point or an ambush or put you up high. Also, the just beyond the bridge is the place where the steam clouds are sort of blocking visibility. You've been this whole time. You've been pretty much outside the clouds.
Well, I'm assuming the steam clouds are going to have damage of some sort of way.
Probably not. It'll affect visibility even with light, but it might make you wet.
I'm going to check the bridge out. I'll jump and then kind of see if it's sturdy enough for all of us to go on, or maybe
Okay.
one at a time.
All right, roll a d20. your dex is 3 higher than normal, so equal to or less than dex plus 3. Should be fine as long as you roll a natural 20.
Well, there you go.
Did you roll a natural 20? Well, that happens, okay? So he was leading across, so there's nobody on the other side to pull him over.
Can I dive tackle him onto the other?
No.
platform? Can I be roll for it?
Less damage.
I'm assuming I can't
You're
shift and grab him.
You're standing there at the edge, you watch him jump. If he falls, like, leaning tower backwards, then you can grab him back on it.
Jumps. I'm thinking, this guy's going in lava for sure. So I'm preparing myself to keep him from dying.
It's 4 feet, I mean, you wouldn't expect, it's not.
We have failed 3 times!
Success on a natural 1, and if you fail, you fall.
Anyway, the point is, so if he falls, like if his feet are on the other side and he starts to fall back toward you, you could reach out and grab him and pull him back. But if he's just like dragging his foot, which is most likely or something like that, there's nothing you can do. He's on the other side. So, anyway.
Isn't it a 4-foot drop?
No, it's not a drop at all.
It's like right over the lava.
Oh, you mean down into the lava? Yeah, so it varies in different places. Here, the lava is pretty close to the top. So.
Or we're pretty close to the lava, yeah.
Steam water.
Yeah. Okay, so all that happens is your foot was low and you might have put your foot in the lava, but you didn't. It just hit the edge of the rock and you hit the top of your foot, like behind your toes, and you take 2 points of damage. And then you kind of roll and come up on the other side.
Did I take any damage when I fell in?
No.
Damage my boot?
No. The boot was damaged, but you were not. Okay. All right, so he's clear. He just looked a little sloppy is all. It's not a save versus dex or die thing.
Lucas will cross.
Okay. Dex plus 3.
Fine.
Okay.
It's the third 10.
And you stand and wait for them to come over to you in case somebody's close.
No problem.
Eric is over.
Plume is going to shift and step across.
Okay.
Plume learned her lesson.
Clue shifts into a dragon and steps across.
You
This
could
is-
just stand on one side and go, so that we don't have to cross. Just pick us up
Yeah.
and move us.
So her arms are not strong enough to pick you up, but she could like provide support. Like you could jump across and then her arm could be there.
Yeah, lay out my arm for them to walk across.
Yeah, or if she could put her tail across, but the problem with that is they're really, really hot coming up on your tail. So you could somebody could get on your back and you could step across. Your back is strong enough. Your tail is probably strong enough, but your arms are like this big around.
It's a 30-foot long dragon with little twig on.
Yeah.
It's T-Rex.
T-Rex arms.
No, these have long arms. They're pretty long. They're like 3.5 feet long, but they're big.
It's fragile.
She is an adolescent.
Fragile.
Merely a child.
Semi-anorexic adolescent dragon. That's what she. I'm just kidding. That's probably not very nice thing to say.
What are your parents feeding you?
Not enough.
Not
My
people.
parents are dead.
Not people. Okay. All right. Anyway, so you're across, no problem. And then I'll just assume this: if you're going to assist the others across from now on, then we're not a problem. But that will mean that you will be in dragon form at every gap if you choose to do that.
I was considering staying in dragon form anyways and just walking with the party, like kind of staying low to the ground.
Okay.
Fly on the other side of the bridge and see what's going on. Fly around, just sit down.
You would feel pretty safe in the steam. Your vision will probably mostly see through it, and you should be virtually invisible. Otherwise, being here, I mean, dragons hunt at night, so if you stay in dragon form and kind of walk around in here, one could fly over and come down to see what's going on. That could happen.
Then we can fight a dragon. Take all their money.
Alright, Clume
Or
will,
it breathes one time and everybody but Clume is dead.
I mean, I'm just being optimistic.
Clume will shift back into human form once everybody is down and pitch the idea of flying around to get a scope of what's ahead and recommend the idea of somebody getting on her back to go with.
Okay.
If anybody was so brave. Last time that he was very
Aren't you
well.
flying into boiling mist?
It's not really boiling. I mean, it's
I'm
steam.
willing to do so.
I would also be willing.
I have no fears.
I miss my fears some days, but I don't have any.
I think it's a fair idea, just don't get noticed.
Go past. I'm start walking along the bridge.
Okay, yeah, so it is a climb up of about 15 feet. So they're stone steps, very neatly carved, obvious technologically kind of thing. And then there's a 12-foot bridge. It's across a 12-foot span, but the span is probably more like 18 feet, and you gotta walk across the bridge. Again, very solid, made of stone, and then down the other side. That's what you're looking at if you do it the mundane way.
I will do that. Okay. Will be my journey.
All right, so Sturt is starting across without giving input or otherwise needing help.
I can't track on the back of a dragon.
That is true.
So Lucas will go with the third and allow Chairon to go with.
Okay. Lucas starts up the stairs as well.
And we'll bring up the rear.
Clune will shift and kind of nudge for Chairon to get on.
Okay. Climbing up.
Yep.
All right. First of all, roll a dex check to find a way to be seated. So, all right, you're seated. You do recall before. I mean, the space is narrow. There's no saddle. There's nothing to hold you on. So there was potentially issues. She's pretty. Not only is she pretty allergic to a saddle, it would take a very specifically crafted saddle to work because the space between her wings is narrow.
Did you craft a saddle custom for our secret dragon?
So anyway, you're in place. You lay on the back of her neck, and so you're going to launch up into the sky, and basically fly around and see what you can see.
I'll go into the steam.
Okay. So the steam is a little bit oppressive for Chairon. The temperature is about probably 95 degrees, which is 125 in plate armor, and it's a little challenging to breathe because it's like if you take the humidifier, but it's like blowing in your face, and then you multiply that by 10. That's what it feels like.
Really hot.
And it's very warm. Yeah, it's not going to burn you hot, but very warm. 95 degrees. So anyway, you fly up and out. You fly past the bridge and around, and so you can kind of get the lay of the land. And from up there, within just a couple of minutes, you can see a pathway that you don't have to memorize or anything, but pretty easily. It's intended to pick a way across the volcano, and it involves this bridge and another bridge. The second of which ends on a platform that also has a tunnel that leads down into the volcanic rock, theoretically toward the core of the volcano.
And Chairon probably can't see this.
No, he can't see through the steam. So your visibility is basically you can see her neck. You see her. That's about it.
I didn't really
And only part of her.
see much.
Yes, you're only here in case there's a crash landing in a defensive.
Yes. Kind of the emergency defense turret.
Healer.
Melee defense turret.
Okay. There are thermals coming up off of the lava, and so several times you hit a straight column of air that's pushing up, basically, and so you're going like this, and all of a sudden, okay, we're going up now, and then you have to work to angle your wings down and reposition yourself. So that happens 3 times in the first, say, 5 or 8 minutes that you're scouting and got what you got so far. So Chairon will need to roll ride checks all 3 of those times, modified for the fact that you are not actually proficient in riding dragons. So don't roll horribly high. Obviously, she is prepared to save you if you begin to fall off. Okay, that one's fine.
30.
Okay, that one's fine.
How many do I do that?
1 more.
7.
Okay, so at the 3rd thermal, you feel that like he gets loose. He's not holding on very well, and so you can reach up and try to steady him, but he's going to fall off probably. He's like tipping all the way to one side, and and without him like pulling on your scales or bearing a knife in your back, there's really nothing for him to hold on to. So you just kind of like trying to push him back up there. Okay,
Yeah.
Your arm just barely reaches. Like you always have trouble washing your back, kind of thing. So you put your arm up there, which will give you another ride check, essentially. Roll some dice again. And while that's going on, obviously you're descending in case he does fall off. Okay. So you get low-ish to the ground. She's holding you on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be staying on. And for all that you try, like you're tipped to the side, you're trying to pull yourself back up on like what's basically her spines, where she's got like a steep curve to the back of her neck, but you can't really get purchase, and so you gotta get down is the point.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to get low enough for him to get off at?
How far from a start are we?
So they went over the bridge and down onto the next island, and then you can see from there that the island wraps around to the right, and it's pretty wide. Like it never gets narrower than 10 feet, and you have not found the giant's tracks yet. I assume you follow that to start with.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've moved from the bridge island to a second island that's attached by a pretty wide swath of volcanic stone. And that means they're only one island away from the second bridge that you saw. And they're right on the edge of the steam. So from where you are, you're out of the steam when he needs to go down. You could pretty easily, assuming he can hold on with your help for like 30-40 seconds, you could get over to where they are.
Okay, I would, if we can, I would go to the island that they
and it's big enough for you to land on as a dragon.
Okay, yeah, then we'll do that.
Okay. So as you're on the middle island, you go the wraparound island. There's lava on 3 sides of this island. The dragon comes down and lands, and you see this as soon as she lands, Chairon basically, she lets it go, and he just slips down, falls on the ground. So he was precariously holding on at best. From here, you can see, and so can you, obviously, everyone can see, that there is a pathway that wraps around onto a third island that's attached, and that island has a bridge that goes over to another island, just like the one you just crossed.
And that other island is the one that has the tunnel that leads down?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll shift back and I'll relay that to a stern specifically. I'll let him know once we cross this island into the next one, it goes on to another tunnel.
Tunnels, yeah.
If I can.
Yeah, and find spaces, all of our favorite thing.
I'm gonna be looking for tracks like while we're rolling on.
Yeah.
Perhaps you'd like to write for Low Moon Adventures. The Prince Albert series on Kindle is a short story series where you can write your own based on our prompts and donate them or donate half their profit to the ministry.
So to the left of here, the next, so this arcs around onto this island and arcs around again. The next volcanic islands are like almost 20 feet away. It's almost like, it looks like, when you look at it, it looks like a river of lava. Like you're approaching the core of the volcano somehow. It must be below you. And the lava's coming up out here, and it's flowing down a pathway in the middle of the valley. And which means it's very probable that the giant came this way, but that you're not finding their tracks on this set of islands.
What happened to the tracks for the one giant we were following?
You left them when they crossed the bridge. So it is possible to go back, cross the bridge back to the other side, and pick those tracks up again. That is possible if this doesn't pan out. So that island that has that tunnel also does have a connector back to that area. So it's really what you know. You don't have to go back to get back over there. You can go forward. Okay. So we're gonna pick up the pace just a little bit because we're gonna come to a stopping point here because it's late. So you take that next bridge and you get onto the island, or the next land path. You get onto the island that has the bridge. You take the bridge up and over, which shouldn't be any real danger, and then down to the other side. On that island, there is basically a curving down tunnel. It looks like a lava flow spout kind of thing, like something lava used to come out of there or whatever. And it leads down into the core of the volcano. Also on that island that leads down to the core of the volcano, you see tracks that indicate that 2 giants crossed there. They did not go down into the volcano. They crossed that island. And on the backside of that island, there's a lava flow that you can jump across of about 4 feet. Or she can assist or something. So you've got down into the core of the volcano or follow the giants. That's the choice.
I'm really trying not to split up here. I'm very curious about over these paths.
Well,
this is as close to the core of a volcano as you've ever been, for sure.
ideally we can do both.
And we shouldn't do both. Because
Well, if you come back out of the core of the volcano, assuming you don't, like, it's not like a day journey or something, if you come back out, it'll be here, right where the tracks are.
Well, and the kid could die because I chose to go to the store first.
There is that.
Well,
Like, they may eat him. It's like, oh, snack.
Yep.
That is possible.
So,
On the other hand, there is a sort of wounding that needs to be destroyed.
unless,
And if you go fight the giants, then you risk it falling into their hands.
I mean, unless we split up, I won't choose to go to the core volcano over finding the kid.
Okay? So you say that out loud?
Yeah, I will do. I mean, I would really like to do both, or I could go to the core volcano on my own and leave the boy to the rest of you.
We're definitely gonna follow the boy. I mean, we don't know if they have the boy. They could have went with the one giant that we're not currently dragging.
That's true.
But we're assuming that the three giants are going the same direction. They're just going different ways, but the same direction. I'm assuming.
Problem is, we don't know where this tunnel goes. You can lead to where they are. It could be just a safer way to get there.
The tunnel that the tracks go into.
The tracks go over, like, the tunnel. They go across the tunnel and over to another island.
Right. They did not go down
No
into
tracks
it.
into
Does not appear as if anyone has gone down into the tunnel in a long time. Like, at least not today.
Well,
But it is designed for that.
I don't know if anybody wants to be in a lava river anyway.
only those who need to. Unless there are strong objections, I feel inclined to split.
I would go with you and we could fly back to the rest of the party, probably be faster. And then you can,
I will track the giants. I just want to go to the tunnel.
Okay, so we're contemplating splitting the party. Some people going down in the tunnel, fight the giant red dragon, and other people going, no, I was kidding.
Never mind.
I mean, if you die in a holy quest, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm prepared
Still
for
has
the
a bit of
possibility.
suckiness.
What's that?
Still has a bit of suckiness.
All death has a bit of suckiness to it.
But I'm prepared for the possibility, and there's a lot of really good character concepts in the back of my mind.
He said, clearly not what Chairon's thinking. If I die today, I imagine there will be other heroes who come along in this world.
Yeah. I think both things really need to be done, and I guess that's really all there is to it.
Question is, do they need to be done separately, or can we do one and then do the other? My concern is splitting the party. I'm already concerned about the concept, or already concerned about the fact that we're dealing with giants.
Yeah.
So
You have.
also bear in mind that during your fairly quick, because you started to fall off search, you did not locate anywhere that the giants would have been heading to, but now knowing that they crossed this pathway, if you went up and looked again, you could get a pretty good idea of where they went, maybe. If they're heading to the back, they have to be going somewhere. But the problem was he started to fall off. So you got as far as like seeing the bridges, seeing the tunnel, getting the basic layout, picking out a path, but you didn't find the giants.
I don't know the answer to that, but
While we're debating, Clune will shift again and go back out and start.
Okay. All right.
I do have
Okay.
pretty strong reservations about
What would you do?
leaving you all to fight these
Cool.
giants
Yep.
and not be.
Okay. I'll just give it to you since we're running out of time. After they almost immediately take off and you start looking in the area that they would have gone, right? Because you know that they went this far, the tracks went that far, they're probably going back there, converging on the rear. And you see at the back of the box canyon, like right at the back wall, there's a place where the walls kind of like narrow in together to a point. And at the back there is a tunnel that goes shallowly sloping down, and there are two, which based on what you heard before, you can only assume are fire giant guards stationed at the door. They look like sentries, basically.
Would they be able to see me?
If they do, they don't respond.
I'll, when I see them, I'll fly back.
It is in an area of mist, so there's quite a bit of mist covering you. Okay. That pathway from where they are to there's a couple of places where it gets a little sketchy, like bigger jumps, but it's pretty direct. So you probably wouldn't, they wouldn't even, you can assume that's where they were going, and you probably wouldn't even have to track at this point. Like they would to know for sure. And no signs of Porviah or the boy. Okay, so you've just about made up your mind, it seems, but you didn't cement it down because you realized Clume had left, so you might come back with some additional information. And Clume tells you she saw the entrance as I just described it. And I think you were probably going to have to let you stew on it and make up your final decision, unless you know right now what that's going to be, and then that will be.
Lucas wants to follow the girl. That's important.
Yeah. So she did say that the pathway between here and there is pretty clear. It's pretty direct. There are a couple places that you have to leap across or have help. It's not terrible. And it's probably in the neighborhood of 100 yards. That's what we're talking about. But you are in the steam here even. So, Aaron, do we have a decision now, or do we want to mull over it for a month?
Quinn will mention that if we decide to stick together and follow the giants, I can fly you back to this point while they get the kids out.
Sounds good. I don't want anyone to get hurt or die in my absence.
Okay. So it sounds like the party will go and fight fire giants, or at least it may be parlayed, right? I mean, you'll have to decide what you want to do as far as how aggressive you want to be, but they're 100 yards away through the mist, 2 sentries posted around an entrance, so you at least know where you're going.
There's only 2 of them.
Only 2. Any problem.
Right. I've fought enough giants to know that there's only 2.
Stay tuned for more Lomunian adventures.